Okay, welcome back to Hell's Aquarium. We're cloning more donkeys using our brand new genetics specialist that we've hired right before we get rollover on the scientist to try to fish for a logistics specialist to complete the trio. He's a little expensive, but not insane. Not nearly as cheap as Rudder, who is an exceptional specialist. I would like to get probably, I don't know, two more donkeys out. We'll see. These guys do have lifespan, so at least these ones will be longer lived. We will have to expand the lagoon, which will also cost money, but we can wait till they're actually going to get hatched to do that. We do have a contract to research Archelon, but it's not viable. It's too expensive. It takes too much genetics. We're definitely doing Shonisaurus next, I think, unless something crazy happens with like scientist advancement to actually be able to do Archelon, but that's like 12 genetics and $1 million. I don't see how that could possibly happen. JWE2 database is updated, so we do know the social, or not social, that's the wrong phrase to use, the behavioral interactions, let's say, between species. So we know Archelon doesn't get killed by anything. That's been brought up on Reddit and whatnot. We know now through the database that we can put Shonisaurus and Nothosaurus together, or we can put Shonisaurus in with a bunch of Plesiosaurus and Ichthyosaurus safely. So we're going to do both, I think. The idea would be that we might skip aggressive. 6:30. Okay, let's leave these eggs here for a second. Let's see the scientist situation. But yeah, so Nothosaurus does not have many things it can go and exhibit with. So we'll put it in with Shonisaurus. Or rather, we'll build a Nothosaurus exhibit and we'll throw some Shonisaurus into it as well. And then we'll put Shonisaurus in the large natural lagoon with a bunch of other Ichthyosaurs and Plesiosaurs. Unless the natural lagoon is still bugged and feeders don't work. If feeders don't work, fish feeders that is, we can go sharks instead and we can fill it up with Mosasaurs. Or Chronosaurus. Probably do Chronosaurus because I like that one better. And then we still are able to complete the park build, probably, right? Probably is really the operative thing here. So, we got no fucking logistic. So, the thing I'd really want to do here is amenities. So that's 5. Yeah, the shark feeder always worked in the natural lagoon. The fish feeder was bugged at release. And I believe I remember seeing that it was supposed to be fixed somewhere at some point in time, but I do not know. So specialist facility is there, which is locked behind this, which is 5. That is also 5. So if we don't get a logistics specialist, we could try and just get 5 logistics. However, we only have 1. And so the only person we're probably going to see with 4 logistics is a specialist or an exceptionally expensive generalist. We could try for altruistic salary people, except they're not really that cheap. Like this guy's cheap, but he's 1 logistics. That's not really worth it. If we could grab 2 altruistics with 2 logistics apiece that are on the cheap end, that'd be great. But we can't count on that to show up either. So given that, I think we're just going to wait on more scientists. Let's get these donkeys out. Let's do both. Let's just make the investment there in money. And go from there. Yeah, I'd like to point out that we're just after a storm here. Repairing this hatchery is 400k, and it's been damaged in both this storm and the last storm. And that is a insane sink on our finances. Like, really, really bad. And I don't know. I mean, there's nothing we can do about it. We need the thing. We literally can't treat this guy without it. So we can't even like demolish it or something because we need it to access the lagoon, which just kind of sucks. I like that this vet here was just flickering because they were desperately trying to get in here to look at the damaged dunk, but they could not do it. Alright, can we get the amenities online because that makes us money. The arrival building is damaged. What does that do? We're making money. What is the consequences of this being damaged? Does it not actually matter? Ah, we can't do anything with a scientist while that's damaged. Got it. We're not able to even view the scientists. Okay, so releasing these guys, we can't do it because we need to expand the lagoon and we have no cash because of that fucking storm. Thus we sit and wait, I guess. And when we expand this out, we're going to expand it out this way, which means we also need new viewing galleries. So we need not just the cost to add 2 lagoon sections. We need viewing gallery, path. We need amenities. Like, okay, employment driver photography. So we got boned on photography before. We legitimately need to hire scientists. We're going to go for employment drive. Have at least 3 scientists employed. Perfect. That is great. We don't have the money, obviously, but we can take a look, you know? Do a little window shopping as it is. So I think this is the same batch from before. I don't think these have refreshed yet. Yeah. So refreshes in 9 minutes. This contract doesn't have a timer, though. There's no bonus. So we can do this in 9 minutes, and that's as good as doing it now. So that's the plan. Well, after another storm, one that was actually not devastating, and the utter failure of employable scientists, we're going to go ahead and release these dunks. I was hoping to get scientists hired first, but it's really just not good. Alright, so these dunks... Well, they certainly just look like dunks. We can't even tell if they have any interesting colors. I'm pretty sure we've actually seen all of them. Although maybe we've never seen the green one before. Salar. Well, you can be Dunkaroos. And you can be Dunkin' Donuts. Alright. And now I'm out of dunk nicknames, so that's it. That's all the donkeys we can have. 88% comfort. I actually wonder if we are going to end up needing 3 lagoon sections. Maybe we overdid it. Maybe we only needed 1. Oh well. Can I build a fish feeder? Obstructed. I kind of want to put amenities there. I think I'm going to tuck it on the back edge. There we go. Alright, well, seems fine. And let's get this amenity producing if we can. And so, yeah, so far it is just dry. 38 only. But we don't have this lagoon online. So we'll see what happens when that is active. Currently, bleeding money is probably not the way to do this. 100% on drink coverage. So, okay, 5,400, 140. Where's my other one? Over here. Drinks? Okay, so yeah, this one is still full. So they are viable. Great. Let's go and get the other ones in immediately, because that is more cash money, and more cash money is more good. So the food... Yeah, let's do shopping here, then food last. Oh, there's the terrain level there is not consistent. That kind of sucks. Oh well. White and green, green, some white. 66. 6,000. We want 66. Son of a beach. No. No. Okay, well, really? So close to greatness. Well, not really. It's not particularly great. Okay, here's the plan. We're going to put in another lagoon up here eventually because we need the Nothosaur Lagoon, which can't be the main big lagoon. So that's going to go in somewhere on that side of the park. So let's just put in a path section past here. That works. What if we line this up basically directly with that? That works. Well, let's just do that then. So there'll be a path section that goes up there somewhere. And then this food amenity can go on this side of the path. Right about there. Donuts, fossil display, fish, and some selfies. Alright. Well, money comes in now. Okay, so we're up to like 12 a tick. It looked like 11, 12. That's pretty good. Good jump in profit, actually. Excellent. And we might not even be good on ratings here. Yeah, no, we're just not. Transport's bad. Not much we could do about that currently. Alright, well, this is a pretty good spot for a restroom because nothing else will fit. Shelter is going to be more problematic. I guess we'll just do it here. Okay. Ratings up will make profits even higher. So that is that. So the next thing to do is to get this contract finished because we're going to want scientists and it's just going to be a thing. It's 100k for a refresh. We can't do that. I do have my eye on this cheaper research guy, but there's nobody to support him. Instead of getting a logistics specialist, we can do 2 scientists that are cheap enough to justify their existence. Basically altruistic salary with 2 logistics, or like a cheaper research guy like this. He's not too expensive, but it has to be 2 of them, and we only have the 1. So I think what we do is we stock up money until we're about ready to refresh the scientists again, and we're getting a new contract for the next month soon after that, or at the same time. Then we hire him, and then we cross our fingers that we get something in the next batch of scientists to support him. If we do get a logistics specialist, we can probably keep both around temporarily, and we just tunnel research to take as much advantage as we can of the cheap research. Then cut him loose maybe when we're pretty good on research. Although, all the aquatics are expensive to research. So having a cheaper research guy permanently on staff is probably not bad. So it might just be worth it. It might just be good. Yeah, so these aren't completely synchronized. We've gotten a new month's contracts available. So I think we're going to hire Arthur here and finish this up. He's essentially free.
We discover more about ourselves.
Faster incubation. He's cheap, but he doesn't have the 2 logistics we need.
Your efforts have not gone unnoticed.
All right. Okay. Scientist training. So I clicked on these contracts prematurely. Because I just misclicked. I didn't want to look at them. But it's the same contracts. So I was able to peek and actually know there was going to be scientist training. I didn't know it would actually stay the same. But apparently, yeah, you can apparently preview a contract to know like if it's going to synergize with the one you currently have, which is fascinating. This has to be scientist training here. Welfare skill to 5.
Is a win for the entire operation.
So if we hire 2 logistics, 1 welfare, we get money back. Another cheaper research, but super expensive. Like person like you would work, but 406 is not ideal. Faster research. I think faster research is essentially worthless for us and probably in general. We could invest the money to reroll completely. I don't think I want to do that when we only have 300k. If we can hit like 500k, maybe, or maybe after another storm or something, we try that. I don't know. This is going to be a lot of like management this episode, I think, getting this park fully off the ground. We'll try to get a new species out this episode, even if we have to go a little long, maybe. All right. It's not what we hoped for, but we do have options here. So we have a very cheap, faster research person who meets our requirements. We do also have a logistics specialist. 16,000 is not bad. We got altruistic salary that doesn't actually work because it's only one logistics, but it's kind of fine. I think we grab logistics here. He's even got, I mean, he's got the welfare and everything.
We are the bold. We take risks.
So that finishes that.
Because there is no substitute.
Currently 4 scientists on staff. We have 7 logistics, which is enough to get the ball rolling on like upgrades and stuff. Profit margins, 60 per minute. Still? Really? I wonder if this isn't updated. We'll check back. It has been going up. So let's prioritize some research here. So our amenities are not at capacity, but if we do the research here for upgrades, it'll improve our profit margin probably by a decent amount, because not only will we meet the demands better, we can have less upgrades, which should also increase profit, because every upgrade is expensive. So I think that's our first thing to do, because that'll finance all other research. And that should be reasonably cheap, right? No. I mean, reasonably cheap, I guess. 400k. We do have cheaper research, so that'll actually be less than 400k, but we have to have 400k to click it, because the game is weird like that. Any moment now. 399. Here's where the storm comes. 400. We're going to do this, even if the storm does come, because, money. Like, yeah, 280. We still have 126k left there. That's pretty good. Then we're going to push, we could push staff upgrades, but we could also just push, like, monorail or something, right? No. Monorail's 2 fucking stars. Paths are 1. It's possible that better amenities gets us to 1 star. If that is true, crowding is... It exists. It's not insane. 99% on accommodation. We're going to need a hotel as well. Okay. It would be optimal to actually put this by the lagoon to cover slightly these little gaps, but we can't really do it. I mean, technically this covers a gap. Marginally so, but it does technically improve visibility. It's not quite aligned. I wish there was like some sort of like smartness to the alignment system where it would recognize what you're trying to do with like snapping and like dynamically update this angle of the snaps based on like nearby structures and paths and stuff. That'd be cool. Like an align to path button instead of just snap to grid. Because this is the thing that drives me insane. I think that's probably good enough. It's close, if not quite there. All right. How are we doing on power anyway? Forget what the power. This one, 3260. Okay. Nothing on the backup generator. Cool. Cool. Sorry, did I finish the research already? Was I unpaused enough for that? Yeah, I guess so. Okay. Let's pause again. So I'm going to go through and fix up the amenities and decide on the next research project. We've officially reached 1 star through higher tier amenities. Not even the amenities themselves, the higher tier amenity upgrades. which have skyrocketed our income, combined with the extra hotel, allowing for more capacity of guests as well, which is some part of that. The hotel was down by 1%, but when the amenities improved, that would have gotten worse. For sure. Profit margin 65. So the profit margin has increased somewhat marginally, but income has increased substantially. So that's the win there. All right. We just got through a storm, so I'm very willing to light my 200k on fire. I don't know if contracts popped up. No. 2 minutes. Okay. There's an argument to wait 2 minutes, but I think there's enough research we'll want to do. It doesn't really matter. The staff center is offline currently, pending repair, and I'm not going to touch it until later. So I guess with our 1 star being reached, we could do paths. That's expensive. Probably we want to actually focus on staff stuff. 400k, 400k. So yield and stuff is good, except we're not doing expeditions right now. However, if we do want specialist facility, it's locked behind that. However, specialist facility, not actually all that necessary yet, because we can do our other upgrades. I think we're going to sit actually on account of everything I've eyeballed so far is 400k. We'll wait and see. Tuberculosis. Okay, great. Also that, seeing which disease was in the park was relevant as well.
There is a new objective.
There we go. Disease free, increased genome. This could be interesting. This could be as simple as doing a dig. This is essentially free though, but 840 versus 265 is a substantial difference. There's a lot we could do with 840. I'm going for it. Greed. Ichthy genome to 50%. That's the bad one. That's like the worst one we could have gotten.
Don't report back until you've been successful.
Shit. I wonder if we could have ascertained that based off the reward of the contract, that it was going to be the expensive one. So that's a wash. I'm willing to replace contracts in this run. Send out expedition or disease free. So this one we'll do disease free because that's just gonna happen, and it's more money. So we got it. We lost 60k gambling on 840,000. I think that's kind of fine. We have 9 genetics. I would like to push some skins before we breed the next dinosaur, but we're not breeding anything soon. The other thing we could try and do too is the upgrades. But these are like insanely expensive, so these are not gonna happen anytime soon. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, tranquilizers. Actually, tranks, we should probably get this knocked out because that affects the capability to sedate the Archelon or the donkeys. So we'll do that. It's a cheap enough investment. Let's just get it knocked out. Use up our cheap research while we got it at least, because I might fire that dude at some point. We're gonna do path research next. The continuing piecewise upgrading of the park. Okay, we got a nice little bump from paths. Not like huge, but you know, it's a new record for income and profit levels, maybe, or maybe arguably this bump was better. But the park is definitely improving. Next, we're gonna do efficiency upgrades. That way, whenever we're prepared to do expeditions, we at least have the upgrades ready to go. Bam. All right, next up is staff upgrades 1, which will lead both of the logistics people here into resting afterwards. I'm tempted to do specialist facility, but it's $1 million investment up front. And the reason I'm tempted to do that is because Shonisaurus is a 7, and that would give us 7 on these two for what is essentially 3 in terms of upkeep cost at least. But obviously has a pretty expensive upfront investment. My inclination is it's probably worth it to push it, because I imagine we'll need more genetics and welfare to hatch anyway. Because I'm pretty sure you can generally evaluate, at least in a broad sense, like approximately, how much genetics you're going to need and welfare you're going to need based on how many logistics it takes to dig something up. With exceptions, with notable exceptions, especially for DLC creatures, where some of them are like 4 logistics but 11 genetics. There's definitely a few instances of that where it doesn't correlate, but I think it's more likely than not that we're going to need roughly 7 genetics and welfare. Or we'll get a storm and then I'll cry. That could happen too. Fine. Just don't damage the goddamn hatchery, okay? Just don't damage the hatchery and everything's cool. Yeah, cut the power. That's fine. I don't care about that. We do need to repair that because it's running off backup. And we probably should do, even though we have to repair this, I'm pretty sure now. Because I don't think we can rest without it. Yeah. No staff center. Alright. Well, do it. I guess the thing we could do is we could see what the next contract looks like and go from there and decide if we want to push the upgrade. Otherwise, we rest and we send 3 on digs. We could start expeditions. You know what? Let's do that. We'll start expeditions. So, if we want to upgrade the acquisition centaur, improved yield is super cheap too. So, improved yield. We're not going to do extraction capacity because that's $1 million. We're going to save that for the future. Yeah, I think that's fine. So I'll do the first dig after these guys are rested, and we'll be back to see the fossils. Well, there's our first batch of fossils, which includes absolutely no money whatsoever. Thanks for the upgrade building. It's possible. So I don't know how that building works, that upgrade technically. It just seems like it makes more money. It's entirely possible that dig sites are programmed with what fossils are in them. I don't know if that extends to the ones that you just sell for money. It's possible that there's a dice roll for those, and then the upgrade just increases the dice roll, or it's possible there's a hard-coded set of fossils beyond the dinosaur fossils, or the Shonisaurus fossils in this case, and then it picks from that list or something. And it's possible then, if it's hard-coded, that they could forget to do it for a DLC especially. And then it would actually potentially be completely worthless here. We're jumping to some conclusions that we really probably shouldn't be because we've done a single dig since we installed the upgrade. But you know, I'm just mad. I didn't get no money back. It makes me cranky. Let's not do this dig yet because we have a storm rolling in. So we'll see how this goes. We'll need 400k to repair the hatchery if it gets damaged. And the hatchery has to stay online to be able to tend the animals. Well, that's not the hatchery. That's good. Okay, I mean, usually 3 buildings is about all that gets damaged in a storm. So, hopefully that's it. Okay, sick. We win. I am actually questioning whether I was right to assume that there was some sort of issue here. This appears to be probably everything from the dig site. Correct? And not a single special fossil was retrieved. It's not definitive. You know what we should do someday? We should test this idea, the notion that you get the same fossils depending on whether or not the upgrade is put in. If the upgrade just like increases the amount of fossils you get, or if you get different ones, and we should do some trials to figure out if the fossils you get are the same every time with and without the upgrades. Like if I do a run, these are the fossils I get. If I do the run again, these are the fossils I get. If I do the run with the upgrade, these are the fossils I get. And if I do it again with the upgrade, these are the fossils I get. Then we have 4 data points there to look at. We could also do more stuff in line with that as kind of like a urban myth type thing almost, in a way, of like proving and disproving some weird subtleties in the game like that, scientifically speaking, like with experimentation. Anyway, this is not enough to actually definitively say that the upgrade doesn't work with that dig site or anything. But it is a suspicious data point. If there's any other like urban legend type things you have for the game, please leave them in the comments. That might be an interesting video to do as a standalone. We can do some testing. So that'll get us our Shonisaurus. We have 600k, which is enough to probably invest in the Lagoon, but maybe not the Shonies. We need to hatch at least 2 of these, I think. I'm fairly confident it was 2. That was their minimum social. So we can use this Lagoon just to test the genetics requirements and like the synth cost and extrapolate what it's going to cost to build a new Lagoon and all the support facilities needed for it up here. We could skip building the hatchery temporarily. Only temporarily. We do need it, of course, to access the Lagoon, but we could get the Shonies out and in their Lagoon by airlifting them, and then build this later after we have enough money to do it. But there's a risk associated with that, because if they get sick, we won't notice, and we won't be able to react to it either, which is kind of bad. We can check that now. No, we can't, because it's 100% to unlock because of the settings. Incubation cost per egg is 500,000. Oh, it tells you the incubation cost here. I never quite caught that. You can do the math. Whoopsies. I could have figured that out a long time ago, what the cost is going to be. Synthesis batch size 1 to 2. That's actually gross for something that's social min 2. Yeah, the Archelon is insane. 700. Second, yeah, that's on par with like Styxo. 975 per egg, 2 to 4, 1 to 3, 780, 975. Actually, in terms of like batch size, it looks like it's on par with Styx very roughly. Curious. Well, let's get the last of the fossils processed, and then we can evaluate what we need to do here next. Boom. All right, contracts. We can try and do scientist training. Maybe that'll work with just upgrading. 7 logistics is actually pretty bad. I don't think we do that. I think that's a wash. All right, never mind. Contract is a failure. Fossils are done. So let's look at the Shoni here. It's short-lived. We definitely want to counteract that, but we have that capability. Solar Rana. 8 genetics. Yeah. So we could commit the point, or we could just go ahead and get that specialist facility put in first. So I'm inclined to do the specialist facility. We do have the rebate here ready to go. Oh, we need 9 logistics. Well, good thing we just got a contract to have 10 logistics, I guess. So what do we do? We go 1 point here, we go 1 point here, 5, 8, 9. And then we put the specialist facility in, and that gets us to 10? That might work, actually. All right. Oops, I gotta hit the confirm button. It's not buried. I thought it was buried for a moment. Logistics, confirm. Okay. Great. We're doing entirely different plan than what I unpaused the recording for. Oh my god, can you go away? I need you to actually minimize now. Thank you. It doesn't minimize. But at least it's okay, then now it minimized. Yeah. Oh, because I just do that. I know how the game works. Great. So yes. Oh yeah, because upgrading your scientist requires an investment. So we gotta wait. There we go. We gotta wait to be able to click the button to get the 400k back from clicking the button, which is classic moment. 300k back, whatever. So we can do the grand experiment here of seeing if this contract completes when we simply upgrade the staff center now that the research is completed. It does not seem to work that way. Unfortunate. Is it worth the investment? This is $265,000, but then we pay the penalty forever for having upgraded our scientists. I think it's worth it, and here's why. The exact reason I think this is worth it is we know these require 1 logistics, and our geneticist currently has 0. Well, I say worth it. It's probably not. But for a convenience factor, screw it. We'll do it. Give me the money.
The way I see it, you sometimes have to bend the rules to get anything done around here.
Okay.
But
Well,
you seem to be able to work within the system. Take this latest objective. You nailed it.
so what we're going to do with the Shonies...
Requisition a hammer. Hammer.
Oh, wait a second. This said Rana. I wonder if the dunks originally said Rana or like whatever default pattern. Doesn't the usually the default pattern unlocks? Like, okay, so what we'll do is we'll do unmodified. Oh, but then we lose out on shit. The genome. All right, no, we'll unlock the pattern eventually. We can look at it then. We're just going to randomize these. It's not worth it because if we roll 1 Shoni and it's short-lived, that really sucks. Sorry, what is this? What? Infinite modifications? Wait, what? It's gotta be in our dinosaurs. Gene mod enabled. Where does infinite... Where would that be controlled? Is that a bug? Wait, what the fuck? What the fuck? Where did this come from? Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna investigate this further. The best I can figure is that the gene mod's yes/no condition is what's also enabling infinite. So it seems to be no mods or infinite mods with nothing in between, near as I can tell. This is with it set to no, and it's blocked by challenge conditions, so that's just not the answer. Weird. Found a thread talking about the issue online. It appears that it's just a visual glitch and that you don't actually have infinite genes, but we'll have to see if that's true. But it's definitely a broader issue that more people are experiencing. It's not connected with specific settings or this map or something like that. It's just a general custom challenge mode issue, of which there might be a few other ones floating around. Oh man, we're gonna sell a rare animal to a private collector. Look at all that money. Money, 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 money. All right. Let's go crazy. What? We had 2 of these pop on Lagoon sections. We found like a rhino to sell to poachers, and then right next to it we found like an ancient ruin, and we're like, no, this time we're doing the right thing. That is incredible. Where's publicity rating? Wait, profit per minute plus 999% on last month? I'm not cheating. That's just what the game decided to give me. It's not cheating to take advantage of that. It feels like cheating. I thought publicity rating showed up in the... There's a modifier here. Oh, wait, is it under guests? Yeah, it's under guests. There it is. Publicity rating 85%. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So, we can go crazy, and we're gonna. Let's get everything we need in. So, I think... So the front here is where the viewing galleries are gonna go. I think we just sneak this guy in, like, right here. What the fuck? Okay, well, that one's... there's no way we're paying the 250. 3x building time is fine. We can literally hatch the Shonis in the other hatchery, and it doesn't matter. Why is every event triggering, though? That is crazy. I don't know why the game is just going off. Weird. Okay, so... we'll connect some sort of path up over here. We're going to put in regular viewing galleries. You know, we could go Lagoon. Because we do have, like, now that we have the better amenities... Actually... Maybe not. Maybe we don't want to go Lagoon. What's the cost difference? Why the fuck is this 200K? Why? Does this have any noticeable benefit? It is bigger. Okay, fine. It is actually bigger. Okay. There is a benefit. A small benefit. This actually should be built like this to really actually use this properly. Still doesn't feel fair. Because it's restricted specifically to the Lagoon. I think the fact that the viewing gallery only works with the Lagoon is enough of an offset to justify having the same cost to build it. You have to already do its own special research to even unlock it. Why are you being like double dipped on a penalty? I think we'll use it here because it will view the back better, and we don't have a good position to view the back. Whereas over here we do have a little bit of extra building room that we could use, and we have the one on the side that gets the first half of the arc here covered. It's going to leave the edges open, but we can build a hotel on one side or the other, or both, to cover that. So I think that'll be fine too. Yeah, in fact, let's put it on this side because the amenities are right here and the path is right there, so that'll make more sense, I think. And then that should be it. We'll get feeders and stuff in once we actually get dinos out. Well, aquatic reptiles out. So, the first Shoni embryo is a single egg. This is in the secondary lagoon. We don't have the welfare on hand to actually do this. The other one's actually almost done building at this point as well. So, 5, 6, we can get to a mere 7. We needed, what, 8? That's a problem. Yeah, okay, fine. Sabotage it. Going insane. Reboot. Great. So this was 8, I said, right? Yeah. Well, that's unfortunate. I guess we do staff research. Yeah, let's just do that. And then, well, this is getting rebooted and everything is happening. There was staff research, and we can hatch egg in the other one. Well, yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll do another clutch in the main one, since that'll be online by then. And we'll see if we get 2 eggs. Regardless, we get to at least see the hatchery release animation for one of them, so that's good. So, research is completed, but while the staff rests after doing so, we can also just knock out the avian pox inoculation here, which is probably a good thing to do before we release more creatures into the park. Got a slight aquatic rabies outbreak. I'm pretty sure a fish can never fucking get rabies, but whatever. This is going to stop us from hatching eggs for a moment. But this is a definitely more pressing issue. I mean, he can't escape, but he can hurt himself. So it probably makes sense to sedate him just to minimize injuries to the fish. In terms of eggs, we got 1 egg with no traits, Blink Death Valley. So we're going to have to hatch both of these eggs before we release any of them, I think. Stop it. Get sedated. Damn it. Rabid fish. He's got the cold, dead eyes of a killer. Or a fish. Yeah, no kidding. He's got a sprain. Sedate him. Oh my god. Come on. Alright. Sprain is a medication. Okay. And you're not gonna do that? You're not gonna do that. Oh no, it is doing it. It's already treated. Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Right, there's the rabies. They'll be on that by themselves. So we hatch this one first because it's got to be airlifted over, and the other one can be released directly from the thing. That means we got to put points into the scientist now. So probably we want to invest in the actual welfare specialist as much as possible. Does that make sense? I think so. We don't need that much, right? Yeah, let's try and not overdo it. So we will use the logistics specialist there. Okay. And with the addition of... Oh, yes. I forgot about this. The restriction is 1 staff center for this mode. We did set that, which means specialist facility is not as good, actually, because you only get the 1. It's still a free point with no upkeep cost, which I think is still worth it, but maybe not pushing it so aggressively like we did, right? On the other hand, the sooner you get it, the more money it saves. If that point would have mattered and you would have had to commit that point to your scientist. But I was playing like we're going to have 3 specialist facilities in the late game, and that's not true. So we probably did not need to go so hard on specialists necessarily. Although I think specialists are also good when you're just stuck with like only 6 scientists, because you probably end up having 2 of each in the end game, because of just the way the demand works out. I could have just woke him up. I didn't have to do that. Oh well. All right, the Shonis are out. We do have a contract to incubate 2 Shoni eggs. This was started after the first, but before the second. So I don't know if this is 2 simultaneously, because there's no progress. Like, it's not 1 out of 2. So I don't know if that's been working. Maybe, oh, you know what? I betcha you have to click the incubate button to register. Because the egg was already incubating, it didn't count at all. And that's why there's no progress. Alright, well, maybe we hatch 2 more of these if we think they're going to fit in this lagoon. We'll find out. And that's where the dorsal fin should be poking out of the water. Because they don't have one in the game. They should have a dorsal fin, by the way.
One of the largest known ichthyosaurs to have ever lived, Shonisaurus is a scientist's dream. Years of studying their fossiled remains filled researchers with a vision. A confident vision, but a vision nonetheless.
They do look
Now
very nice,
we
though.
see it realized before our very eyes, ready to show the world.
Transporting asset.
Alright, other one is on the way. So this is guest threshold for large hotel. So that must have been a guest threshold we just tripped. So the bonus on this is not going to happen no matter what. What we could do is, if we still want to try and do the contract, we could start to play with some gene mods. So, we got social. Which one's humble? This one's humble. 6 species, yeah. So we could try social. 12 genetics and $1 million. But we could try and push that. Unfortunately, yeah, we did have an event trigger that made our scientists all get very sad, so we do need to rest them immediately afterwards here. Let's watch this one get blown in. The colors on these guys are high fucking tier, by the way. And as you can see in the short video that is on the channel. Alright. Reptile delivered. So, open space is almost there. We can fit one more, I think. I think this supports 3. If we do social, maybe 4. But 3 is not going to finish this contract. A conundrum. I guess we'll hold on to the contract until it expires and we get new ones. And we'll decide then if we're going to try and do a Shonisaurus. Do more Shonisauruses. I like the red one. Do something. Oh, we're going after... Oh, they got a fish. Bye, fish. Goodbye. Gulp. Ah! Rip fish. Okay, park rating goes up. Oh, this is probably a fresh contract. Yeah, let's check the replacements. Largest territory. Unfortunately, not very viable. Tour ride is probably doable. Let's take it. So, we don't need the Shonies then. We can abandon the idea of doing more. Hey, Sep. The tour rides we do have to do the research for, but it's cheap. Yeah. Well, 400k is not exactly cheap. But it's worth doing because the contract will come up again.
Guest
And
comfort must be
we can
a
also use it
priority.
to try to patch up
What
the
good is a park full of
transport
wonders
rating,
if no one wants to
which is
visit?
bad. 75%. So I guess we just put in a tour that wraps around the donkey pen. And it'll help at least a little bit with the a little bit with the visibility, a little bit with the transport rating. So it'll be worth it because we have the contract specifically. Shelter, unfortunately, the terrain level is fucked and could not be fixed. Yeah, I guess we'll just do the shelter there. That'll be 100%. Great. Yeah, so just transport rating currently. That's it. Oh, and amenities. The Shonisaurus have caused a big bump in the amenities. Yeah, so here's what we'll do between episodes. We'll get the tour in. We'll improve the amenities. And then we'll probably try to make a push for social so that we can expand both lagoons into a higher population. Was social $1 million, actually? Or was it cheaper? 400k. Okay. No. Yeah, $1 million. This one's social. Yeah, so social's not currently doable. Yeah, $1 million for large hotels. Yeah, so there's no research to currently do. We'll save up for social. Okay. Until next time.